Welcome to our CMA workshop. In this training, we're going to use the tools available to us realtors, members of the Miami Association of Realtors, to best identify comparative market analysis for properties that are on the market or off the market. Let's begin using the MLS, which is Matrix. We are going to search for a property that is currently active in the market for sale. Let's go ahead and search single family home. And let's do zip code 33134, and let's click on results. Here, I'm going to choose a random property, one property that I like to use as our comparable. Let's go with this one right in the middle at $2,048,000. All right, this is a single family home in Coral Gables. It is currently for sale, again, at $2,048,000. We're taking a look at the conditions of the property first and foremost. It is always important that we look at the conditions of the subject property. So when we choose our comps, we find similar properties that are in the same conditions. Okay, there are three important factors when running a comp. You want to search for properties that are within the same location, within the same size of the subject property, and then sold within the last 3 to 6 months, preferably 3 months. All right, so here we have this property. It's 650 Alcazar Avenue. All right, we're going to go ahead and create a CMA using the MLS. So we're going to grab that address, and this property is 2,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, and 3.5 bathrooms. We're going to go ahead and run a search, and we're going to do active, and we're going to do closed sales in the last 6 months. We are not going to go and use our map here, and we're going to go a distance of 1/2 mile from our subject address, which is, again, 650 Alcazar Avenue in Coral Gables. We're going to hit enter, and then you're going to notice the address that shows up right here in the center. We're going to select it, and now in red, you should see an indication that says the map area has been selected. To confirm this, you can click on map search, and you'll see that the area has been already selected. All right, let's go ahead and click on cancel, and we're back over here. So as we mentioned, the subject property is about 2,500 square feet, a little bit more. So for living area, we're going to go ahead and select between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet. Normally, you want to do about a 20% difference in size of the living area. And then, of course, we are going to select single family home. We are now left with 12 matches. Okay, let's go ahead and click on results. And one of the results should be your subject property, and there it is. Our subject property has 7,500 square foot of lot. All right, so keep that in mind when you're choosing your comps. So here we have all of our active listings and then all of our closed listings. Beginning with the least expensive closed listing, this is a property that sold for $1,400,000. And as you can see, it probably does not compare to our subject property. So we can go ahead and eliminate that one. What you can do, of course, is that you can go back to criteria and you can choose only properties that are 2 stories, right? 2 floors. So you can do that by selecting here design description under the criteria and selecting 2-story homes. And now we're left with 5 matches. All right, we have our 2 sold properties. $2,405,000 and $2,100,000. And then you have 2 other active listings and your subject property. If you'd like to, you can stretch your radius a little further out. So you can always go to map here and you can stretch your radius just a bit further out. Like this. To about 1 mile, and see if there's any other comps in the area. And here we find other comps in the area. Go back to results, and what you see here is a lot more sales. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the 1 mile radius, and we're gonna go and choose all of these comps that you see here. And we're gonna leave this one on Ortega Avenue out. I believe this may not be a comp. All right, let's just go ahead and leave it out since it was sold for 1,375,000. We can always choose it if we'd like to. All right, so choosing the comps that using the comps that we chose, we're between 1,620,000 and 2,385,000. All right. And then for our active listings, we have these two active listings that you see here. We're going to go ahead and select those as well. Now, the simplest way for you to produce a CMA report using a matrix is by selecting print. And then you want to select two reports down below. You want to select the CMA one-line summary report, and you want to select the 3-up comparison. And now all you need to do is click on print to PDF. And here you have your comparative market analysis using the MLS. You have your banner up here with your branding. And then it shows here your active listings, one coming in at almost $2.3 million and the other one at $3,275,000. Your active average price of a listing is at $2,785,000. Then you have your sales. You're in between 1,600,000 and almost at 2.4 is your highest. The one that sold for 1,620,000 sold in 19 days at 95% of the original price. The one that sold at $2,400,000 sold in only 6 days at 100% of the original price. Your average sales price is coming in at $2,013,000. Your average price per square feet is coming in at $816 a square foot. All right, guys, our property is currently for sale at $2,048,000. Let's go ahead and go back here to Matrix and see that our subject property is at $2,048,000. And our comp analysis says our average price is $2,013,000. If you grab the price per square foot average of $816 and you multiply that times the size of the home, which is 2,511 square feet, you're looking at $2,048,976. So what the listing agent did is probably grab that price per square foot and multiplied it times the size of the home, and they came up with a price that's the average price, which is $2,048,000. This comp is going to give you your side-by-side comparisons, as you can see here. All right, and it's an effective CMA report that you guys can use to present to your customers, whether they are buyers or sellers. And then again, this is produced by selecting your comps, selecting print, and then going down below and selecting your CMA one-line summary report and your 3-up comparison. Now, of course, there are other ways that you can run a CMA in Matrix. The next way is that after you choose your comps, you can always click on CMA at the bottom. Clicking on CMA, now you can select one of your contacts. Select whether you want the CMA in English or in Spanish, and then write a brief description for your CMA. Next, you want to go to pages. You want to make sure that you select your pages. I have already pre-selected my pages that I'm going to include in my CMA. The available pages will be to the left. You can always open each category and then pre-select the pages you'd like to include in your CMA. You can always delete a page from the CMA simply by selecting the page and then clicking on the red X on the right. You can also change the sequence of your pages by clicking on the arrow up or arrow down. If you have custom pages that you'd like to include in your CMA, you can always click on the lower left corner, click on Upload Custom Pages, and this allows you to upload a PDF file from your computer onto your CMA in the MLS. Next up, you want to go to Subject, and is this subject property on the MLS or is it off market? In this case, it is on the MLS, so we can either enter the MLS number here, or we can click on search for a cross-property listing to autofill the information from. If the property were not on the market, then you can click on type the subject property fields manually, and you will have to enter the address of the property, the size, and the bedrooms and bathrooms. We're going to go ahead and click on search for a cross property. We're going to click on results, and our property should be right here, 650 Alcazar Avenue. That is our subject property. So let's go ahead and select it. Next, you want to click on fill from selected at the bottom. Here we have the details of the property with the picture of the property. Next, you want to go to your comparables. These are your comps. You have an option right now to remove one of the comps or multiple comps by selecting them and hitting remove selected. Next up, you want to take a look at the map, and here we're looking at the CMA map where the comps are in relation to your subject property. We're going to go all the way now to pricing over here in the upper right corner. And we have a low of 1,620,000 with a high of 3,275,000. We have an average and a median pretty much in agreement that it should be somewhere around $2.2 million. So if you are listing this property, then you can suggest a list price down below. So I'm going to go ahead and suggest a list price. Let's go ahead and put in dollar symbol, and let's put in $2,250,000. All right. And that is not how you write $2,250,000. We need a comma right here. All right, let's correct this a little bit here. All right. So we got $2,250,000 is our list price. And then let's go ahead and click on finish. Your CMA now is ready to be viewed. You can click on view CMA, or you can click on email CMA. Let's click on view CMA, and here is our CMA report, which is produced by Matrix. It's something that you use when you need to perform a presentation, right? You're going to go and you're going to visit your customer and you're going to hand deliver a presentation, or you can email the CMA. So here's your CMA report. Here's your front page. It's got your branding on it. All right, here we have our CMA professional report with details on each property. Here we have a chart showing in different colors your active listings, and then in different colors all of your sold listings. Coming in at $816.83 a square foot for your average price per square foot. All right, so underneath all of this, you do have your pricing recommendations. Says this page suggests a recommended sales price based on a thorough analysis of the property at $2,250,000. All right, here's my CMA map. Here's my benefits of using a realtor, and here's my importance of pricing. These are some static flyers that I included in my CMA as a page. So this is your CMA presentation using Matrix, and those are the two formats mostly used by realtors from the MLS to perform a CMA. Now, other ways that you guys can perform a CMA in the MLS using our tools is by using iMAPP. Now we're going to go back to our search, and we're going to enter once again 650 Alcazar Avenue. Let's put in 650. Let's put in here Alcazar Avenue, and we should see one property show up. And yes, there it is. Let's click on results, and here it is again. So iMAPP is a public record system that we can use for our comps, and you'll find it here where the little I symbol is located. Now, iMAPP does have properties from all over the state of Florida. So those of you working different areas of Florida, you can always find out property information and run a CMA for any property in all of Florida. Next up, you're going to go ahead and take a look on the right-hand side and click on Find Comparables. All right, so here iMAPP is giving us 1,050,000 and 1,400,000. You're getting those two comps by using the comp criteria of 20% difference in lot size, 20% difference in living area, located within a half a mile, sold in the last 6 months. Now on the MLS, I did stretch it out to 1 mile, so I'm going to do the same on iMAPP and then click on Update Criteria. And now we have several other comps. All right, so as you can see, we do have a very low range here of $633,000. So let's search for that one property that's giving us that low reading, and let's remove it. Here it is. It's a property that sold for $670,000. We're going to go ahead and remove that. As a matter of fact, that property isn't even in Coral Gables. All right, if we look on the map, number 5 is all the way over here. And we are not going to use that property. All right, so removing that property, now we have a different value. We have an average of $1,664,000 with a low of $893 and a high of $2,083,000. You can continue to work this CMA by removing the comps that you feel do not belong in your report. So for example, here we have 824 a square foot, 829 a square foot, 605 a square foot, 557 and 802. Now let's confirm that we have seen these properties, right? And $355 a square foot just does not match, right? It's in worse conditions. It's not a fair comp analysis. So remove it. Now our price is getting higher. Now we have an average of $1,818,000 with a low of $1.4 million. Continue now to remove the next lowest, which is this one here at $557 a square foot. Let's remove that one, and our price is creeping back up now to almost $2 million. We're at $1.9 million. And I'm going to finish this off by leaving just 3 comps. Let's remove this one that came in at $605 a square foot. All right, so keeping the 3 best and highest comps available to us. We are now looking at a price between $2,014,800 and $2,083,800 with an average price of $2,055,900. Folks, the property is listed at $2,048,000. All right, so it's obvious that the seller thinks their property is superior and belongs towards the upper end of the market. And by the looks of it, it looks like a very nice home. Maybe a little outdated, but a very nice home indeed. Okay, so here we have our comp analysis using iMAPP coming in with 3 comps. One that sold at 1,850,000, another one at 2.2, another one at 1,746,000. Put them all 3 together, you have a low of 2,014,000 and a high of 2,083,000 with your average here in bold. These prices are determined by price per square foot, folks. So you're getting the low price per square foot over here of 802 a square foot. That is going to give you 2,014,000. Your high price per square foot of 829 gives you, again, your high, which is 2,083,000. And your average price per square foot of 818 gives you 2,055,900. All of that is based on the size of your home, which is 2,511 square feet. Same concept as the MLS, it's just that iMAPP actually has this explanation for you right here. Now, this is a CMA quite often used for realtors for a quick valuation. It's not really presentable to our customers. What you see here is what you would be presenting. So if you email this page, this is exactly the page you're emailing. If you save it as a PDF or print it, once again, this is exactly the same page you are printing or saving to your computer. So unlike the MLS where it's more presentable to a customer, this one is not. However, this one is rather quick for us to get our evaluation done. Okay, now the next one I want to cover is a more complete CMA report, and that's one using RPR. RPR is one of our benefits of the National Association of Realtors. So you can actually access RPR straight from inside of iMAPP by clicking on RPR on the right-hand side, or from the MLS listing, you can look for the RPR logo, which is up above. All right, so either way, I'm going to click there and it's going to now sign me into RPR. And folks, if this happens to you, just go back to the MLS and click on RPR again. It is going to now link up to the property. All right, so here we have our RPR home property details, right? And then you'll see that the property is listed at $2,048,000. And then right below, you will see an RVM. In most cases, the RVM is going to have 5 stars. When it does have 5 stars, our RPR feels extremely confident in their price here of $2,126,000. If you want to know more about how the RVM or the Realtor's valuation model was determined, you can always click on View Details here, and it's going to show you the properties that were used to come up with that price. All right, so when you scroll down, you will see the properties that were used to come up with the price of the RVM. Now, this is not an official CMA. You can always run your CMA and RPR by clicking on CMA value right here where it says create a CMA. But it's always a good starting point to get a feel for what RPR thinks of the property. Now let's go ahead and click on create a CMA and let's run through the steps of creating a CMA using RPR. On the right-hand side, you will find confirm facts. Let's go ahead and click there. And in this case, we are not going to make any changes to the property. It is currently listed. And if you compare the list values versus the public record values, there are no changes to the property. We are looking at a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom home, 2,511 square foot. No changes between public records and the listing data. In the event that you can confirm that there are some changes to the property, you do have a column to the right that allows you to make your own changes to the public, not to the public record, but your own changes to your RPR record. Let's go ahead and click on confirm facts. And now we move on to step number 2, which is where we search for our comparables. Let's click on find comparables. And then here you're going to see single family home, which is what we're searching for, active, pending, under contract, active under contract, and closed. We are going to search for properties here where it says within. Let's search for properties sold within the last 6 months. Then we're going to come here and we're going to do a minimum bedroom of 3, minimum bathroom of 3. Living area square feet should be somewhere between 1,800 and 3,200 square feet. And then our lot size should be anywhere between 5,600 and 9,400 square feet. Folks, don't forget to always select lot size. All right, RPR by default is not going to have it selected. Let's go ahead and select it and then come down below and let's hit search. Take a look at the map. You are going to now see all of your comps within that area. Now, there are many things you can do with RPR. You can always use geography and select micro neighborhood to do the exact neighborhood. All right, if no data comes up, then you can do minor neighborhood, and once again, no data. Next up is you want to select intermediate neighborhood. That's going to select the entire neighborhood here, known as Granada in Coral Gables. Or you can always draw a shape. So you can draw a radius, stand on top of the subject property, and then extend out 1 mile. Extending out 1 mile, you click on search in this area. Now we're looking at our available comps. All right, so let's take a look. I'm gonna select all the comps, and then we're gonna do the same thing we did with iMAPP. We're gonna start eliminating some of the comps we do not want to use. So by selecting all of our comps, we are gonna get a value, all right, between $359,000 and $2.39 million. That's going to give us, when I click on update valuation and close, that's going to give us an average price of $1,660,000. Now, of course, we are going to eliminate some of those lower comps. That's going to bring our value up to where it should be. So let's click on edit for number 2. All right, taking a look, there's obviously a few properties in this list that do not belong here. Here we have a property that sold for $660,000. It's not even in Coral Gables. Let's remove that one. And then there's one down here for $280,000. It is in Coral Gables. However, I mean, come on, $280,000 when you're comparing it towards a $2 million home, that was a great deal. All right. Don't know who bought it, but that was a great deal. Anyways, that's not really going to compare. Let's remove that one. Now we're between $2 million and $2.4 million. Okay. If you like to, you can remove the highest one. So which is the highest one? So we have one here at $953 a square foot, guys. Maybe if you take a look at the property by clicking on the address, you figure that this property may not be a comp to our home. So if you don't think so, if you don't believe so, then remove it. And now we're looking at between $2 million and $2,080,000. So this is more like it, guys. You click on update valuation and close. And now we are looking at an average price of $2,055,254. Once again, folks, the property is listed at slightly under $2,050,000. So using RPR, we were able to produce the right CMA value for this property. I can confirm that I used 3 programs and I got 3 identical prices. So it's almost certain this home is going to sell right around this price. So if I represent the buyer, we need to let them know that the value of $2,050,000 is correct. And we can have the confidence that it may appraise at that price as well. If we represented the seller, I might list it for a little bit over $2,050,000. Not real sure why they listed it at that price. Maybe it's a motivated seller and they want to sell quickly. Anyways, going back to RPR, we have our average here of $2,055,000. There are no need for us to make adjustments. Notice in my video, I have not made any adjustments because we're choosing comparables that are similar to our subject property. The only time that you make adjustments is when you're choosing properties that are too different, right? They're not alike. And then you would choose to adjust your comps. Otherwise, we're going to stay right here. We have number 4 is review your comp analysis. This allows you by clicking on edit to recommend a price. So let's say we were listing this property and remember what I did in Matrix, $2.2 million. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come here. I'm going to say, you know what? We can probably go up to $2,250,000 as our recommended price. And then you click on save. And now you have a recommendation of $2,250,000 with an average of $2,055,000. Now, of course, we're not really going to do this. You know, we're representing the buyer in this case. So let's just go ahead and leave it right at $2,055,000. And now the last thing that you have left to do is create a report. Now, RPR is going to recommend right away the seller's report, and I can confirm it is the best report that you're going to use in RPR for a CMA. You do have the ability to use a property report, which is more of a buyer's presentation. And then you have other smaller reports that you have down here. We are going to choose the seller's report, guys. And as you notice on the right, it says approximately 81 pages long. Guys, you want to open here and you want to choose the elements of the report that you like to include and the elements of the report you like to exclude. You do not want to produce an 80-page report for your customers. All right, so once you have done so and you mastered the report and you know which pages you like, which pages you don't like, then you're going to come down here and you're going to click on Run Report. Your report will be ready in several minutes. Notice to the upper right corner where it says report, there's an orange notification letting you know that there is a report in production. Now, RPR reports remain inside of the system for 30 days. So whenever you log on to RPR and you go to reports, you will see your reports here, and the ones that are available will be able to open, download, print, email. Now, after 30 days, RPR automatically will delete the report. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the report by clicking on download report. So here's my RPR report. It's got our company logo. It's got information on, or it's got a picture of the property, and it's got some information on yourself right here. Underneath that, you have here the valuation on the property coming in at $2,055,000. All right, you got your property photos, you got your CMA map, and then your side-by-side comparisons, allowing you to compare each property next to one another. And then next, you're going to have one page or one property per page with its description and the amount it's sold for. So here we have our first comp coming in at $2,100,000. Here we have another one coming in at $1,746,000, 2.2 million, 2.25 million. All right. And then we have our average of our comparables coming in at $2,055,000. Guys, if you take a look at the top from our user selected comps, it says the median price is $2,150,000. So what we're learning from this here is that the median is actually higher than the average. All right. So I think that it could sell for $2,100,000 or more. However, the list price is asking for a little lower at $2,048,000. Maybe because the house is a bit outdated. However, it's in excellent condition. All right, guys, this is your CMA report using RPR. It's a wonderful report, folks. All right, we're going to go ahead and close that out. And I'm going to run a few exercises now if you wanted to find comps for a condo. And it's real simple, guys. In the MLS, you're going to go to RE1, RE2. And let's say that we want to find comps for a condo in this building. We're going to put in here 50 Biscayne Boulevard. All right, so 50 Biscayne Boulevard. And let's put in here, we want condos, 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. All right, we got 4 matches active. Let's select close, and that brings our results up to 9. Let's click on results, and here we have 4 sales or 5 sales, and we have 4 active listings. So as you can see, our sales come in anywhere from just under 700,000 to 850,000. So if you select all 5 of your sales, and then you click on print, and you click on CMA one-line summary report and your 3-up comparison. Again, you're going to go ahead and click on print to PDF, and here we have our MLS CMA report for a 2-2 condo at 50 Biscayne. You have an average sold price of $742,000. You have an average price per square foot of $572 a square foot. And here are your side-by-sides. It's a very simple process, guys. Now, going back to our results, if you want to see the numbers quicker, you can always select the comps you like to use. Now, let's go ahead and select all of them. I want to include our actives and our closed sales. If you want to see the numbers quicker, all you need to do is select them and then click on stats down below and then click on tabular. This is going to show you your 4 active listings. Take a look at the average line right here. So the average price per square foot is $603.11 a square foot for a 2-2 in this building. The closed here, you got an average of $742,800 for a sold price, with the average price per square foot coming in at $572.78. So the client of mine asked me, what are 2-2s selling for at 50 Biscayne? I'm going to tell them at $572 a square foot. Combined, right? When you see all of them right here combined, you're looking at, once again, $572 a square foot for your solds. And you're looking at 600 square foot for your actives. So this is your market analysis in the MLS. That is a quick view. You just select them, click on stats, and then click on tabular, and there you have them. Now, of course, if you wanted to run one of these in the MLS, not in the MLS, in iMAPP, let's go ahead and select the most expensive one, $850,000. Go ahead and click on iMAPP at the top, and that's going to open up iMAPP. And then you're going to click on Find Comparables. All right, now notice how there are comps just everywhere. All right, there's a minor change that we need to do here in iMAPP in order to get the comps in the same building, guys. And that's if you open your location here, you're going to go for same subdivision and then click on Update Criteria. All right, you're going to stay within that same building right there. All right, so we have an average here of $719,400. You're looking at between 661 and 786, and here are your comps. All right, now I want you guys to see they're all different sizes. You got 1256, 1256, 1256. Then you have one here at 1358 and another one at 1357. All right, since we are studying the most expensive one, we can obviously tell here that well, actually, no, we are studying the one here for 1,256 square foot. So let's do this. Let's only choose the ones for 1256. You have 2 ways to do this. You can either remove the other ones that you see here, or you can come over here to where it says living area and do this, within 5%. And then click on update criteria. And now we're left with 3 comps, all identical comps. Okay, so we're between $699 and $725 with an average price of $716. All right, folks, their listing is probably at $850,000. It's a little bit above its market value for sure. Okay, they were probably trying to come close to the value of the most expensive sale in the last 6 months, which is this one, coming at 850,000, but this one is 100 square feet larger, right? We're looking at 1256 versus 1357. So yeah, it's larger, so that's why I got a higher sold price here. All right, guys, so that's how you run a CMA once again on iMAPP for a condo. For a condo on RPR, it's going to be the same. You're just going to go ahead and click on RPR, and we're going to run through the process of getting a CMA value. You're going to come here, see that the RVM is reading 773 with 5 stars. We're going to click on Create a CMA. And then we're going to click on Confirm Facts. You know, there are no changes to be made, so let's click on Confirm Facts. Next up, we're going to click on Find Comparables. Once again, we're going to use active, pending, active, under contract, and close. We're going to go back 6 months. All right, and then let's use 2 bedrooms, exact, 2 bathrooms, exact. And then let's leave it right there, 900 to 1600 square feet. And let's go ahead and click on search. Now, again, you're going to see a bunch of activity show up all around. And what you want to do is you want to use geography and go with the micro neighborhood. That's going to identify only 50 Biscayne. Search in this area, and you have these comps right there. Sold, 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 right? Sold, another one, and the last one. These others right here are active listings. I'm not going to use them because, once again, they're not the real value, right? They're asking for that price. You don't know they're going to get that price. So using the sold ones, we're between, again, 662 and 826. All right. I'm going to remove the larger ones, guys. We're going to remove this guy right there and that one. And we're going to remove this one too. And we're going to stay with the 1,256 guys. Again, we're between 700 and 700,000 and 725,000 with an average price of $716,000 for, again, this condo that they're currently asking $850,000. So as you can see, using the MLS, using iMAPP, and then also using RPR, this condo is slightly overpriced. All right, guys, so this is going to wrap up our training. So thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you next time.